Well, Brendy, I've got to say congratulations on selling out the first season of the Pits, but now you've also got a very special one night of the Pits. So I was wondering if you could start off by telling our listeners a little bit about the Pits, but also how this very special one night performance has come about.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, thank you so much for this, and a big thank you in regards to the selling out of our first season. So, the show is about a husband and wife called Carol and Daryl Pitts. They're slightly ridiculous. They've just graduated from their own 6-week musical theatre course in 2020, and they've now decided to take their weekly Wednesday wellness program that they've created on the road, and they're touring it around the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, delivering the weekly Wednesday wellness program to the nursing home circuit. And in this specific show, they're delivering it to a nursing home called Shady Pines.
Okay.
So the show focuses around the 5 pillars of wellness, which is it's mental wellness, it's physical, it's social, spiritual, and emotional.
Awesome.
Look, a lot of fun. It starts off with them trying to deliver the message of wellness to the old folks, and then all of a sudden, halfway through, like any cabaret, they hit a bit of a hurdle, and the challenges start to come through. The show, though, is a mix of a lot of camp choreography, high energy dance numbers, incredible vocal renditions from my castmate Stephanie Marion Wood, and just brilliant stand-up comedy between the two of us, along with two featured Melbourne performers, Lee J. Booth and Stacey Kelly. How the show came about doing a one-night performance at the Athenaeum, which is just incredible. We weren't even planning that, was that a family friend of the owners of the Athenaeum actually was in our opening night audience and wrote to me the day after and asked me to get in touch with the Athenaeum because they thought that it was definitely a show that needed to be seen on a bigger scale and a bigger stage. And from there, 2 days after our show finished, I contacted the Athenaeum, and boom, we were locked in for a one-night performance, and we've gone on sale through Ticketek, and we're doing a 4:30 matinee and an 8 o'clock show on Saturday the 8th of May. So it's been a bit of a whirlwind, and something that we hadn't planned, but an opportunity like this doesn't come every day, so we've jumped on it.
Yeah. What was your initial thoughts when you heard that the Athenaeum were interested in putting on your performance?
Flabbergasted. Completely shell-shocked, but also I was so incredibly excited, appreciative, but also incredibly excited because it had been 5 years since I've written and produced one of my own shows that I've performed in. So I sort of looked at it and I thought, you know what, like there's a real thing about it. I don't even know how to describe it, but there's definitely a knack or an importance of grasping when you need to take time off creatively.
Yeah.
And embrace that. And then when something pops up, an idea, riding that wave.
Yeah, definitely. And where did the original idea come about for you? Were you someone who has been part of the nursing home circuit, or was this just an original idea?
So the idea came about last year when we were in that semi-lockdown and we were only allowed to have 6 people in our houses. I was at a friend's house one night, dancing in their living room. I started getting a little bit stupid and started performing to my friends like we were on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
And from there, it was the next day that a friend wrote to me and said, that 5 minutes was absolutely hysterical. You need to do something with that. So I sat on it and I was like, right, I need to do something around wellness because I'd been working for a co-working space where every Wednesday we were focused on Wellness Wednesdays. So I needed to link this type of cruise ship to wellness, and then all of a sudden I actually had a flashback to when, because I actually used to be a nurse, but I actually had a flashback to when I was doing volunteer work in high school at a nursing home, and we would go off every Wednesday and just hang out with some of the old folks in this nursing home, Nazareth House in Camberwell. And I specifically remembered, and this is where I realised I need to put this in a nursing home, I remember this performer coming in one day. She had a full Fran Drescher style haircut. She was in a full-length red sequin gown. She came walking into this living room, or the nursing home communal living room. She had a suitcase, a little speaker suitcase on wheels in one hand, her microphone in the other. She's walked up to a wall, she's plugged it in, she's swung around, and she just started performing like she was Celine Dion in live in concert, but in this nursing home where no one was giving her any response whatsoever. But she was just like, Nazareth House, give me a hell yeah. It was... From there, that I sort of, with that flashback, I thought, oh my God, this is exactly what I need to do. I need to put this husband and wife, this oblivious husband and wife, in a situation that is the complete opposite to what they're about. And I think that's what the appeal is with the show, is the fact that, you know, it hasn't been done before. It's a ridiculous comedic pair that are put into a nursing home. It's different, it's fun, it's light, but it's also got a very, it's got an accidental meaning to the show as well in regards to the trials and tribulations of performers in nursing homes, or even just the trials and tribulations of performers just in general, with the situations that we put ourselves into for that paycheck.
Yeah. And the show's been so well received. What are the plans for the show after the Athenaeum shows? Like, are you looking to take it interstate? Would you look at turning it into like an online series or something? Like, it seems like a lot of people want to know more about Daryl and Carol.
Daryl and Carol are quite excited. They're a bit overwhelmed. More Daryl's overwhelmed. Carol's used to the spotlight. But no, the pair of them are looking at doing, they're wanting a resident spot. So we are in talks with a couple of theatres about having a resident spot and doing a monthly Wednesday wellness program.
Awesome. Yeah.
Which would be incredible. We're also looking at Midsummer Festival for 2022 and the Cabaret Festival as well. And hopefully, possibly even Adelaide Fringe. So there's a lot of the fringe festivals that we would like to take part in, but predominantly our main thing after the Athenaeum is getting a resident spot with a couple of theatres that are close by that are very interested, which is super exciting. But keeping that all sort of slightly tight-lipped at the moment.
Awesome. Well, for all of our listeners out there, if you want to head along and check out The PITTS, a cabaret about wellness by those unqualified to teach it, it is on at the Athenaeum Theatre on Saturday, the 8th of May. There's a 4:30 session and an 8 p.m. session as well. The link is up there on our website, and if you're listening to this on the podcast, the link is just below where you found the podcast. So grab your tickets, and I guess to finish up, Brendy, is there anything you would like to say to our listeners out there about heading along to see this show?
Look, I can assure you Daryl and Carol are so unqualified and oblivious when it comes to wellness that I can assure you that you'll come, you'll have a laugh, and overall you will have an absolute hoot of a time in this 1 hour show.
Awesome. So listeners, go and grab your tickets. Again, for people out there, the ticket link is actually on our website. And if you got this from a podcast, just look below where you found the podcast and there will be a link there as well. Brendy, thank you so much for coming on the show today. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you, and we can't wait to see what happens to the PITTS in the future.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, David.
Not a problem. I'll let you